The neighborhood I moved into wasn't supposed to be dramatic. When I bought the house, I imagined quiet mornings, fresh air, and neighbors who minded their own business. But the universe doesn't always give peace. Sometimes it gives you Karen, and not just any Karen. This one believed she was the president, CEO, and supreme commander of a homeowners association that didn't even exist. A fake HOA, yes. She literally made up rules, fines, and even official warnings printed on her cheap inkjet printer. I ignored her at first, thinking maybe she was just one of those people who needed control to feel important. But she didn't stop. Every day she would find something new to complain about. My mailbox is too big. My car is parked too close to the sidewalk. My grass is too green, and it draws insects. She even complained about my welcome mat because it didn't match the neighborhood aesthetic. The woman was obsessed. And the more I ignored her, the more she escalated. But I wasn't just any new neighbor. I'm an FBI agent, not undercover, not retired, fully active and cleared. I don't tell people what I do unless I have to. Why? Because the moment someone finds out, everything becomes different. People start acting weird. Some get intimidated, some get curious, and some, like Karen, would try to use it as ammunition. One day, she knocked on my door with a clipboard in her hand and two people behind her. They stood like they were holding an inspection or conducting a legal authority check. She didn't even say hello. She just started reading from her clipboard. "You are in violation of Section C, Paragraph 4 of our HOA guidelines," she said. I leaned on the door frame and raised an eyebrow. "There is no HOA in this neighborhood," I said calmly. She smirked like she had caught me in some trap. "There is now. We voted on it. Now, normally a real HOA needs legal paperwork, property management approval, payment structures, and county registration. But she thought a group chat vote in a Facebook neighborhood group counted as law. The two people behind her, let's call them her minions, nodded like synchronized parrots. She handed me a paper saying I owed $275 for parking violations, lawn disruption, and mailbox size discrepancies. I took the paper and slowly ripped it in half. Her eyes almost shot flames. "You can't do that. I'm going to report you." "Go ahead," I said, and closed the door. Well, she did more than report me. She called fake police. Yes, fake police. I didn't even know that was a thing until that day. The next afternoon, I was outside cleaning my truck when a black SUV rolled up. Big stickers on the doors that said, "Neighborhood Enforcement Patrol." The kind of stickers you buy on eBay for $15. Two men got out wearing tactical-style vests they definitely did not have authorization to wear. Fake patches, fake badges, fake authority. Karen stood behind them like she was their queen. One of the men yelled, "Sir, step away from the vehicle. You are under arrest for refusing to comply with HOA regulation." I just looked at them. Quiet, calm, measuring. They had no real badges, no real license plates, no authorization, just stupidity and ego. Karen folded her arms. "Take him in." The officers approached me like they were about to restrain me. I didn't move, didn't react, didn't even blink. When they were close enough, I reached inside my jacket slowly and pulled out my actual, real, federally recognized identification badge. FBI, National Security Division. Their faces changed instantly. "Put your hands where I can see them," I said. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't angry. I was just commanding. The man holding fake cuffs dropped them like they were burning coal. The second one backed away with his hands up. Karen's face turned completely white. "You impersonating law enforcement?" I said. "That's a federal crime." The two fake cops started explaining themselves so fast it turned into gibberish. We thought, she told us, we were hired security. She said this was official." Karen tried to step backward, but I pointed at her. "Don't move." She froze. I called the real police. And yes, I still had to follow procedure even though I was higher-level federal. When the officers arrived, they were already familiar with Karen. Apparently, she had a reputation for calling emergency services over ridiculous things like dogs barking, mail carriers parking for too long, and kids riding bicycles too fast. The fake cops were immediately handcuffed and put in the patrol car. That part was easy. Karen, however, started screaming. "This is harassment! I am the community leader! I have rights! You can't do this! He's the criminal. He's dangerous! He's violent! The officer calmly asked. Karen, did you hire these men to act as police? She said, yes, because no one else here enforces the rules. Then she realized what she admitted. The officer simply said, turn around. She tried to run. She didn't make it 2 steps. Handcuffed, placed in the back of the squad car. Still screaming. Now you would think that's where the story ends. But no, Karen doesn't give up. A week later, I found out she was telling neighbors that I faked being FBI and set her up. So I held a community meeting at the park. I brought cookies, chairs, and my badge. Calm, professional, respectful. I explained everything. The law, the impersonation, the charges. The neighbors were stunned. Some apologized for listening to her nonsense. Others admitted they had felt bullied too. Turns out she had been controlling this neighborhood for years, before I even got there. People were afraid to speak up. She used intimidation, gossip, and threats of fines to get her way. By the end of the meeting, we formed a real community group. Not an HOA, a support network, safe, friendly, actual neighbors, not tyrants. Karen was banned from contacting anyone in the neighborhood by restraining order after the court hearing. The 2 fake cops got probation, fines, and community service. And I finally got the quiet neighborhood I wanted. But here's the part people never think about. Entitled people don't become entitled overnight. It grows, it festers, it becomes their identity. And when reality finally confronts them, it feels like the world is collapsing. That's why they scream, fight, and blame everyone else. Because accepting the truth means losing control, and people like Karen fear nothing more than losing control.